This is Tom Mauriello, creator of the CSI Checklist App, and this is Check It Off. This week, I just thought I'd sit back and have a discussion on the benefits of the CSI Checklist. Why was it created? What does it do? Why should I think that I should have this app on my mobile device? There are a number of benefits, and I'd like to talk about them and give you some sense of understanding of why they exist. First one, the CSI Checklist is a procedural tool. I have looked at the U.S. Department of Justice procedures for all the various types of crime scene investigations. They have talked with the experts around the country and said, okay, what are the procedures that are necessary for a successful investigation? I've gone to other professional organizations like the ASPCA in reference to animal abuse, which is one of the newest checklists that we've put there, and said, listen, what are the procedures that will help ensure successful investigations? So it's a procedural tool. Now, I want you to understand that nobody's suggesting that you need the app because you don't have the knowledge and training. That is not what the CSI checklist is all about. We know that before you put that gun on, before you put that badge on, you have gotten significant training and education, and that each year you get on-the-job training and you get training on any changes that happen, etc. That is not why the CSI checklist is important. It's important because we know you have the training in knowledge and education, but we just simply need to make sure that you don't forget all the various steps. There's so many things to be thinking about and so many things to do when you arrive at a scene. You have a victim to interview, witnesses to interview. You have a crime scene that you're trying to stop time to ensure that it's protected and the integrity of that evidence is there. So there's so many different things to do. There's so many different people at the scene with different responsibilities, and the CSI checklist puts those responsibilities in proper order so you can be reminded of them and ensure that you do them. What are the things that it talks about in lists? Things that you should, observations that need to be made, questions that should be asked of victim witnesses, of other team members involved in the investigation. Resources to use. What resources are available to you that you might not think of or even know that are there? For example, if you have a skeletal remains out in the woods that have been buried, what do you do? What's your responsibility? Who do you call? There's a whole section in the CSI checklist in the death section on forensic anthropology, and I've talked with nationally recognized forensic anthropologists and saying, okay, what are the steps that the initial response officer needs to do, the investigators, and when do they need to call you as a forensic anthropologist? So resources are a significant benefit to the CSI checklist. Consistency. As an individual professional, you want to make sure that when you do a job that it's consistent, and there's quality and consistency go hand in hand. If you are a supervisor and you have investigators and people under you, your job is to ensure that the people under you have not only have the proper training, but also they perform significantly based on that training. So the CSI checklist, if everybody in an investigative team has it, you can be ensured that there will be consistency in performance, what follows quality control. As an individual professional, you should be concerned with quality control. As a supervisor, you should be concerned about quality control. If, as a prosecutor, who ultimately will be taking this case for prosecution, you should be concerned that all the people that are involved in the preparation of a case before it gets to you, in fact, is doing it in a manner that is effective, that will allow for a successful prosecution. confidence. As an individual officer, it's so important when you get a call that you have the confidence, even before you arrive there, that you have not only the knowledge and training, but you have the ability to ensure you do everything that is needed for a successful case to happen. So if you ever responded to a call and saying, oh man, I never did one of these before, I'm not sure what to do, your basic generic investigative tools are always with you, but there are certain questions to be asked, observations to be made, and resources that need to be called in. And the CSI checklist gives you that confidence that you'll know what they are. Accurate reporting. Doesn't matter what you do in the course of an investigation. If you don't report it properly, it will tend to bite you when you're testifying in a court of law. So if things were done at the scene, but you didn't report it in that manner, that could hurt your case. So when you use the CSI checklist, you can take all the things that you checked off and use that as a tool when you're writing your report. And the last one is the real benefit of the CSI checklist. It's a mind jogger. It simply ensures you don't forget things. As a human being, I don't care how many times you've done something, there are so many things to be thinking about at the same time. We tend to forget certain things. And as you all know, you can never go back to the crime scene after you've left it. So now let's go to the functional capabilities of the CSI checklist. First of all, you simply enter your basic case information, the location, case type, date and time, etc. That's all. This is not a reporting management system. It is simply to provide you with capabilities of understanding the various procedures. So when I say enter your case information, it's just the basic information. Next, you're going to decide what checklists pertain to you, depending on what your responsibility is. If you're a small police department where your responsibility is the first responder, you're going to investigate the case, you're going to process the crime scene. If you have all those responsibilities, then you're going to be using multiple checklists. Or you might just want to look at the responsibilities of the other team members to ensure that anything that you are doing will help them or add to their capabilities. Check off each action taken. So as you're going down whatever checklist you're using, just touch that capability or action, and it will put a check mark there. And at the end, it will create a document of all the items that you checked off, so you can share that information with yourself when you're writing a report, or your supervisors or other team members, if they want to know, okay, what was it that you did? So when everybody's reporting their activities, it will be consistent, and there will be nothing that is different from what other people may have reported. Take advantage of the listed resource links that are available in the resource section of the checklist. You might, a victim, a family who's experienced Now let's get to the functional capabilities of the checklist, how you use it. First, you enter your basic case information. Now this is not a reporting management system, so you're only going to be putting the case type, date and time, location, etc. Then decide what checklists pertain to you and your responsibilities. You may have multiple responsibilities, especially if you're a smaller department where you might not only be the responding officer, but you're going to be the investigator, and you're going to process the crime scene and do all those things. So look at the various checklists and see which ones you're going to use, and then start working with them. Check off each item that you either did or considered. Even if you just considered something, maybe it didn't, you didn't need to do anything, but you considered it, you might want to put that in your report later on. So check off whatever pertains to what you've been doing, because at the end it will create a document of all the things that you checked off, whether it be one checklist or multiple checklists. Everything that you checked off, every checklist you use can all be created into a single document. You can share that document with yourself, so when you're writing your report, you won't forget anything. You can share it with your supervisor. You can share it with other members of the team. You can send it as a text message. You can email it. You can hard copy it if necessary. You also want to take advantage of the listed resource links that are also in the CSI checklist. For example, you may have a family that has experienced a devastating homicide in their apartment, home, needs a cleanup of blood, etc., other biological fluids. Listed in the resource links are a national crime scene cleanup company. There may be local ones in your area, but there is a national crime scene cleanup company that handles all the jurisdictions, and you can provide that information to the family. Want to learn more about the CSI Checklist app? Then go to our website listed here. Please share this with your colleagues. If you have any questions or comments, please contact us at info@csichecklist.com. Until next time, I'm Tom Mauriello. Be safe.